Hi, it's Wasabi, welcome back to the channel. We've got the battle today on the Fisherman's Bay map, and we've got Fury from Clan using the T29. Now he's trying to 3-mark this tank, so he's got a full load of premium ammo. So he's got 2 stars on the barrel already, so we'll see how he goes with here. Now, as you probably know, T29 is one of the best tanks at tier 7. Very good hull down, good gun depression, and a very strong frontal turret armour. So he's going to head to this spot where the Type 62 is heading to try and catch tanks crossing into the city. But you can see there's already a couple of medium tanks up there already from the enemy side, and they've just taken out the scout there. So they've lost one of their scouts, but they've still got 2 left. So Type 62. I think it was just a bit of a blind fire there from Fury. Anyway, needs this type to shoot, and he puts a shot into the Brett Panther, which is nice, gets him down to, well, almost one-shottable setting with this gun. And in fact, there he goes. But that was 2 shots really, so the one shot to Fury and the other one to Sergeant Guffey in the Type 62. Anyway, it's a tier 6 to tier 7 game, so it's got the advantage of being top tier, and obviously when you've got that advantage you want to make the most of it. Now he's just looking around, just checking all the different angles. It's fairly well protected here, certainly from artillery, who might be up in sort of the A2 area or down in sort of A8, but until you see the tracers come in you don't really know, but luckily there's only one arty on each side. Alright, now it's got advantage at this spot here is also you can get tanks who are already in the city, and if they push a bit too far forward you can catch them. They got spotted there, probably that WZ131 who's just arrived in the centre. And although he's spotted, the box tank there, the SU-100Y, seems oblivious, but maybe because he's basically trying to get into cover as fast as possible, and Fury doesn't quite reload in time to get a second shot in. So a bit unfortunate, but again, no one's really paying attention to where Fury is. But they're starting to lose some tanks. They've got most of their tanks in town, and looks like they're getting pushed in by the enemy quite hard. They're down nearly 1,500 hit points, but they're already 3 tanks down, so not a good outcome. And the enemy have pushed up on the 1 line as well, so they've got their light tanks and a fairly slow-moving tank destroyer already pushed right up to the G line there. So Fury making a key decision here. If you can't hold a point, you need to try and get yourself out of there as quickly as possible, or at the safest time to retreat and take up another defensive position. There's no point trying to hold a position that you'll just get surrounded or flanked easily. If you've taken up a forward position, see if you can retreat back to the spot. He had an opportunity to shoot there the KV-3, but he didn't want to stop when he's taking some hits from the Striv medium tank that's in the centre. So we won't hold him responsible for running into that rock there. A bit hard to judge what you're doing when you're trying to look back. But nonetheless, it's made a successful retreat. Now he's got half his health left, which is fine. He's only done a 1,000 hit points, but he gets rid of the KV-3. That's an important get. Also a pretty decent heavy tank at its tier. It's only very well armoured, but he managed to go through that without too much trouble with a premium round. He's pushing up here potentially to flank, but he's noticed the Striv now is pushing right down, so he's got the opportunity to tax the Striv as he goes through. Gets one nice shot in there. Gets spotted by the Striv and doesn't want to go and make himself a target for other tanks, so can he get another shot in? Just misses that one. And the strip's taken out Hellcat. So they're now 5 tanks down, and there are 2.6k of hit points in the arrears. Now luckily that strip is not on many hit points. If he pushes that a bit too far forward, that's exactly what will happen to him. So Fury gets his second kill. There's still 4 tanks down, and there's still a decent amount of hit points down, but so far Fury hasn't lost any more hit points, which is a good sign. Now the WZ131 is down there, and I don't think the Type 62 is going to have enough hit points to play with if that WZ pushes in on him. And he's spotted again, but he managed to take out the MT25. So 3 kills now to Fury. And he's lit, but he's got the carcass of the strip in front of him, so he's pretty well protected, certainly for his lower plate. Now he's got the E25 crossing. Would have been lit by the Type 62, so definite value out of keeping your scouts alive as long as possible. And they're starting to close the gap. Now only 3 tanks down, but the enemy still double their hit points. Now he's got the AT7s moved up to help him, and now he's found the E25, been spotted again by the light tanks. Blocks the incoming round, gets an on-shot into the E25. Unfortunately the E25 takes out their scout, so a bit of bad luck there to Sergeant Guppy, but the E25 goes down, and now it's only 3 tanks down. Now at this point they've got the WZ131 pretty isolated, so Fury's pushing in here. He knows he can take on the WZ, just has to line him up, and he gets the kill and blocks an important shot from the SU-100Y. Last seen in the town, so not exactly sure where he is, but possibly the shot travelling a long distance. Certainly will lose penetration over distance, so that would have definitely helped Fury. Anyway, there's a tank on cap, but he spots the Stereo ML first, so uses his hold down capability, puts a shot into the Stereo ML. He's got just enough time to stop the capping, and he's got pretty much the side of the AT8. Well, he turns a little bit, but not enough to stop the incoming round. That resets the cap, and the AT7 takes down the AT8, so now he can finish off the Stereo ML, which he does, and that's 6 kills to Fury, so that's his top gun, and he's got 3.3k. Now that was an incoming shot there, would have been from the SU-100Y. Now there is an AMX 1375 hasn't been spotted. That tank could make the difference in this game, but if he hasn't been spotted, quite likely he's AFK. So I'll have to confirm that when Fury gets up further, but would have thought that we'd have seen that AMX 1375 before now. Yeah, spotted again, but mostly likely by the SU-100Y with binoculars up, but didn't help the SU-100Y. Fury gets the kill, and that's his 7th kill. And now they've evened the score in terms of tanks. They're a little bit down in hit points, but this is not insurmountable. It's only an artillery and the AMX left. Now that sort of implies that the AMX is full health, which sort of fits in with the idea that he might be AFK. So if you see this sort of thing, that's sort of judgments you've got to make. You look at the enemy lineup that's left and the hit points remaining, you can pretty much judge. Now obviously with the mini-map mods these days built into the game, you can sort this out by seeing the health bars, and here he's found the AMX. Now he's definitely stationary. He probably has moved from cap. He's definitely a long way from cap, so he must have just disconnected. Well, he's not disconnected. He's still in the game, but clearly the player is not paying. So he goes for the ram here. He's got one mark of excellence on the barrel too, so possibly a life event has come up, but that's not going to help his team. Puts another shot in, try not to waste ammo. Gets the ram, and that's 8 kills, and that's a Radley-Walters medal for Fury. So now only the Hummel left, and he's got the AT7 pushing up with him, so just in case the artillery uses that spotting information and goes for him. We certainly won't kill him in one shot, and he would expose himself, I'm pretty sure. But we're okay. Now he's been spotted. So what's this, an artillery with binoculars perhaps? And where is he? In front of Fury or to his right? They're indicating to the right there. Oh, and there he goes in the bushes there. Fury gets a nice bit of damage out of that, and the AT7 takes care of the rest of it. And that is the end of the game. So that's a pretty good comeback from a long way back. Well, that's a shed load of medals there for Fury. Let's have a look what he got. The Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, Top Gun for 6 kills, High Caliber Award, Confederate Patrol Duty for spotting tanks that were then damaged by your team, Naden's Medal for destroying all enemy light tanks in a battle, to at least 3, and the prized Radley-Walters Medal for getting at least 8 kills in a battle. Now, that would have been a pretty handsome reward in it itself, but he's finished on top dramatically with 1891 base experience, right up there at the top level, supported by the AT7 there, who both managed to stay alive and also contribute with kills and damage. In fact, the two of them did the top damage, so there. The Type 62, I think, did a pretty decent job, but unfortunately just got out of position and couldn't hold it. Now, in the enemy team, the Ice 2 we didn't see, but must have done most of the damage in the town, did 2.2. KV3 that Fury killed did 2.1, so shout out to them, but the rest of the team didn't do a whole lot. And there you go, that poor AMX 1375 went off to make a cup of tea or something like that and didn't come back. Alrighty, so what did it cost him? Well, it's going to cost him. He's trying to 3 mark, so he's got to invest in this. 23 shots fired, 19 hit, 18 of those penetrated. Not really nice when your premium round doesn't penetrate. It is a Tech Tree tank, don't forget, but he spent 110,000 on ammunition and 40k on consumables, so he lost overall 76k. But I think this is part of what he's after with trying to 3 mark it, is to get that mark at all cost. Anyway, another Radley-Walters game. We might see more in the not too distant future, so we'll put those in a series potentially. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. I'll have more great content to follow this. And again, thanks for watching. See you later.